Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you again so much for joining me here. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Taking a look here again at Bitcoin, kind of rounding out the day here. Trying to get kind of an update to you this afternoon, kind of seeing what's going on. Generally speaking, we are double bottoming in the larger time frames, right? We kind of zoom out a little bit. You can see that we're hitting this double bottom. While it's not a guarantee, of course, pretty much everything has to be taken with a grain of salt right now. The truth is, if we get a bounce from here, there's a strong probability we're going to retest that 58 to 59K range because that's our more local point of control, that 0.618 fib level. So important stuff there as far as resistances are concerned, but decent chance we break through this 56.5 barrier here today. We should be in pretty good shape to see the price continue higher, at least retest these next fib levels. Okay, so again, some silver lining, but there's no other way around it. There's no way to sugarcoat it. The macro looks terrible. Things are just moving down, and it does feel like there's still more potential for downside. So we're going to look at all options here and effectively give you best practice and big picture for scenarios like this, just so we understand kind of what works best, right? And to start kind of with the back-end data here, this is some pretty glaringly obvious larger, these last 7 days is kind of more so smaller time frame scenarios here, where we got a lot of liquidation at 60,000, 59,000, and then of course down as low as 53 to 52. Obviously ballparking there, but generally speaking, the most amount of liquidations at 60K, that's kind of that new resistance level for us. So it does imply that's a resistance, also implies there's potential for the price to try to sweep that level, okay? But we do zoom out though, this is like the monthly for liquidation. We can see a tremendously large amount of liquidation on the downside, and we're much closer to that. That would seem like a much more likely probability of the price going down than up in the overall sense of, immediate liquidation. But just know in the last week, we've seen a lot of shorts at 60,000 where their liquidation and or stop losses are at that level, where bigger picture, larger time frames, there's more longs that could get destroyed by this. Okay, so just know that's a very real thing. So this double bottom potential is exactly that. It's a potential is all. We've had inverse head and shoulders. We've also had, yesterday we had a bull pennant pattern. None of them are really seeming to play out. So I would not put a lot of emphasis on this double bottom, but just know in general, when you look at double bottom patterns, they have a tendency of being pretty high percentage, almost 80%. So this is one of our larger potential patterns that we're seeing starting to form. Again, it's really mostly visible on the hourly if you include the previous candle wick, okay? So again, reaching for straws, not really, but kind of depending on how you look at it, right? Once more, don't put a lot of emphasis on this. This is not a reason to take a long position, but the truth is we're starting to build a little bit of a foundation volume down here, and it's looking a little better, but also, the truth is, as you continue to work yourself into a descending channel here, we've got to break above and establish higher highs and higher lows soon. So that's kind of what we're looking at there. Let's go ahead and zoom out and kind of just round out this here and kind of talk about the important stuff. The daily time frame hasn't changed at all. It's still very bearish. Till we get up over 59K, really don't have much of a leg to stand on. But the 20-day SMA is working its way down. We may eventually be back up above it. But between now and then, not really good circumstance here for us. We can see the overall momentum is down with TSI. We can see MACD is still diverging. And obviously, our generic indicators here are letting us know that we're still absolutely on our way down, okay? So with our second stochastic swing to the downside, this kind of gives us more weight here, letting us know we might actually see further pullback. Okay, so again, just be mindful that we're right on the edge of support. This is not a great support level. It's just generally an area that we want to kind of see if it holds or not. We lose this level though. I would say 55 to 54K seems probable based on liquidation and a handful of other reasons. Okay, but for right now, 4-hour time frame, we are below all moving averages, still not breaking any sort of bullish. Every time we've broken above the 20-day SMA, we get a fake out and the price pulls back. So if and when we do that, again, I would say don't get excited. Okay, let's not get too crazy here. I think longs are not really the most appropriate call right now. Okay, and it hasn't been for a while. The truth is, it's not looking so good. We tried our luck yesterday, of course, with a bull pennant pattern breakout, had multiple confirming factors on the hourly and 4-hour, instantly just wiped out all that potential. Okay, it's totally gone. That happens a lot. So you got to get kind of ready for that and expect the worst, hope for the best. But no matter how you look at it here, 4-hour time frame is still bearish. We look at the RSI, getting that tentative bounce off that 25, that 30 to 35 range. We can see stochastic is trying to swing up, but it hasn't fully done so yet. Money flow index is getting closer to 30. Generally, that's a normal bouncing point. So usually when you see 30 on the money flow, the price will recover unless there's some ridiculous sell-off, which we haven't seen yet. Most of these sell-offs have been, stopped by traditional market hours, where post-market hours we're starting to see Asian markets open, and they open red really bad. Okay, but again, they're mostly just securing profits because there's, traditional markets are increasing the profit as well. Either way you look at it here, if we zoom in to the hourly, we can kind of see with our trading sessions that that this is basically Asia, the red stuff. So they've been pushing their price action down really hard multiple times, where traditional markets are more so pushing it back up. So again, there's different ways you can look at it, but the simple way to understand it here is that this double bottom doesn't play out. We lose the support at tentative support at 56,000. Then I think 55, 54 seems like a likely next target. When we look at the hourly, though, let's quickly double check this here. The Ichimoku Cloud is going to give us confirming factors that leaving your short position open and or opening along, or more so, leave your short open, do not open along. That's kind of the consensus here, right? We had the exact opposite scenario at this time yesterday, which is funny because it just instantly deleted all the potential profit throughout the day. This is happening a lot. So the price shoots up, shoots down, and then we got these periods of consolidation between. It's not standard normal stuff, but it's becoming normal because that's just the market win right now. So you kind of gotta get on board with what's happening right now. You don't have to love it, but it is essentially just part of our crypto lives right now. Okay, and I think it's going to be like that in the month of September. In fact, let me pull this up really quick for you, folks. Again, I've got these live charts here in our Discord, but this actually gives us good perspective. So if we look at the overall here, just to quickly give you perspective on the last 3 years, so 22, 23, 24. So 2022, we had a 14% loss, 11% loss in 23, and a 8% loss so far this month. Okay, now I wouldn't expect October to be phenomenal. They've also been known to be kind of plateaus, but November's and or December's can be very strong, typically November. So just know we might be in the doghouse for another couple months, but I think end of October / November, we should start to see a shift in momentum. Okay, and again, a lot of that hinges on elections and different things of that sort. If you look back here in 2020 and 21, strong election years, right? And generally speaking, you're just going to see more growth the 2 years after an election versus the 2 years leading into it. So right now we're still in that funky situation here, specifically more so here in the US. All right, anyways, that's available for you under live charts on our Discord if you're curious. Either way, I do appreciate you watching. Hope you learned something here today. Once more, just be careful taking longs if you're going to take one. Very low leverage, low position size if you're going to do it. I would expect the price to continue lower. I think this double bottom, no matter how many patterns we get thrown at the charts, it really means very little at this point with how much manipulation is in the market. Okay, so just be mindful of that. I think we're due to see a little bit further of a correction. I welcome 50 to 55,000 range just because I got a lot of limit orders for my spot bag. You might want to consider that. Either way, thanks again. We'll see you in the next one. Have a great rest of your day. Take care.